Welcome to another episode of Canadian Parinday.
January 2023.
January 2023 and we promise that we're gonna make videos for you guys. So in today's video, we are going to talk about several important things. First is why rent prices are increasing. What is behind it? What actually happened? What are the different problems people are facing just to be a good tenant? You have to be qualified to become a good tenant. Also, we're gonna talk about what things you can do to kind of deal with this problem and how to make sure that when you land here or you come here, you have at least a place to stay.
Yeah.
So stay with this video till the end because we're gonna talk about so many things
that you might not be aware of, nobody has talked to you about, and this is what we do. We love to talk about the things that nobody talk about, bring out the real facts.
Bring out the real facts. On an average, if you want to rent a full detached house, because that is the preference for a lot of people to buy the house, on an average they are going for $3,100 per month. That is a starting, and that even you are lucky if you can get it, because there are a lot of people who might want to pay a couple of more $100 to get the same house. Now let's talk about the prices. So an average townhouse in city of Cambridge right now is going for $2,600. That's 3 bedrooms. Rent a condo apartment in Toronto, that is for the same price, $2,600, and that's 2 bedrooms only. And if you are interested in renting a 3 bedroom, which is the most rare, it's actually going for whooping $3,500. That is the same for all the cities in Ontario. Wherever there is a demand, wherever there are jobs, people are willing to move and they wanted to pay whatever they want. Now, if we look at the rental prices all over Canada, it's very much same as the housing prices. With Vancouver being the top and then Toronto, what interesting is that even the cities in Ontario like Burlington, Guelph are going at top prices. Kitchener number 12, not too bad. Now we have been trying to look into the reasons behind why the rent prices are going crazy. Now the more obvious fact is that the house prices are going up and people are not buying houses. So there are more people, they wanted to rent a house or they continue want to rent the house. Apart from that, there are other reasons behind it. What is the first thing? What is the first thing?
1, 2, 3 start.
The first reason is a trend. It's the trend that people are following or the landlords are following when they want to rent the house. Now say for example, if I have a house and I want to rent it, or the previous tenant has gone and I want to re-rent it again, and I went into Facebook or realtor.ca or hire an agent to rent it, you go and check what prices the other houses of the same type are going for.
In the same neighborhood. In
the same neighborhood or at least within the city.
Yeah.
Now when you see, although you were renting to your current tenant for like say $2,300, but now everyone, same type of house, is posting for $2,800.
It's a society pressure, clearly.
Exactly. You're like, I want $2,800 now.
Yeah, and $500 a month makes such a big difference, right?
Exactly. So if you're a landlord, just think about it, right? If you're overcharging someone, obviously it is overcharging. It's not good. If you have been in the same shoes, you probably, it hurts everyone. It hurts all the families who wanted to rent. So another factor which is resulting in that higher rent prices is because of supply and demand. As you guys already know from different news places that Canada last year invited so many thousands of new immigrants in the form of foreign workers, permanent residents, and international students.
Yeah.
So there is a huge demand of renting houses.
Yep.
So how are they going to find an accommodation for themselves? All of them. So there's a reason why a lot of people started renting out their basements, but even with that, there is still a lot of demand.
To add on to that pile is unpredictability in the market. So lots of people who wanted to buy the house in the last year, but because of the higher interest rate or XYZ reason, if they haven't bought the house, they are still sitting on the fence whether or not they should be buying the house now or rather wait until summer. Well, that's a topic for another video for sure. But where I'm coming to, that there are still a lot of renters out in the market and the new renters are coming in. So definitely lots and lots of demand from tenants to get a place. That gives upper hand to landlords to demand for the money which they want to.
Exactly. So these are all the reasons why causing all this, rental crisis. Now there are a few things that government is doing to, control this hike in renting prices, like the way they were trying to do for housing market. But I don't think so. It's actually doing a lot, because here's the loophole. If you are currently renting, say for example, if you got a good deal 2 years ago, $2,300 for a house, your current landlord will not be able to increase the price for year by year basis, not more than 2%. However, if you want to, or if you want to switch your house or upgrade it and rent it, then the new landlord can charge you whatever. So there is no restriction from the government that they have defined that you can only charge this much amount for this type of house. But now, yeah.
He's out of those husbands जो बहुत हाथ हिलाते हैं, and I have to do that. All our friends know it. Deepak moved too much of his hands and Richie keep on pinching him.
You know what? Here's the thing. When you say you're gonna, you have to use something. It's just the way you say. ये कोई गलत चीज़ नहीं है. अच्छा, anyways. So here's the thing. So amid all the higher renting prices and crazy housing market, one market which is still going strong is the investment market. If we talk about the investment transaction, it almost volumes to $7 billion in the first half of 2020, which is huge. Even in this highly unpredictable market, investment properties are still getting multiple offers. So there are people wanted to buy investment properties. And no reason why there are so many new projects keep popping up all over the city, in Kitchener, Waterloo, with amazing different prices in all different range.
So there are a few couples who got the house last year and now they are out in the market again. They want to, start looking for investment property, and why not? So the intention of looking out in the investment property, all they need is at least 20% down. The renting market, the way it is, they don't have to worry about a mortgage at all. Plus, they're gonna rather make extra money. So that's another thing. Landlord, they started considering renting their place or renting the investment property as a source of making the extra money.
Exactly, that's extra money. And it's not bad too, because here's the thing. This country needs housing. Even with, so many houses on the market selling and new constructions and things like that, still with a number of people coming in, you need houses. And, your landlord is not a bad guy. He's the one giving you accommodation. And yes, he's now charging you more than, it should be. But in the end of the day, I think he wants to compensate for the higher mortgages that he has to pay.
Say with us, we are currently paying $2,200. But in 3 years from now, this $2,200 is gonna jump to like $2,900.
Right.
That makes such a big difference in your monthly budget.
Exactly. So that is the reason why there is still a huge demand on investment properties, and not just in Ontario. It's even in Calgary, Halifax, all those places where there is a strong renting demand. There are, especially on the new construction side, builders are offering free property management and guaranteed rentals for a whole year, because they know they can rent it.
Everything is going up. Grocery, you name it. Cars, super expensive. Buying the house, crazy. Renting the house, super crazy. So what people started doing, they have started doing the part-time jobs, right? What more smarter people do if they have a cash, they rather buy the property. They not only just make a mortgage out of it, plus the extra cash flow that can help them to support the family. So basically renting your property is another source of making that extra cash. And this is why when we talk about that renting a basement is getting very common in Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge area, the fact is that.
Now, so here is the action plan for people who are coming to Canada, or you are here new and wanted to rent a house in this crazy market.
Open the bank account and transfer the funds to your bank account in Canada as soon as possible. If If applicable, do it well before you move to Canada. Second is get the employment letter from your employer. Now, it's not a hidden fact, but listen to me clearly. Even though if you are planning to continue work with your current employer after moving to Canada, it doesn't hurt. Have the employment letter. Have it listed down how many years you are working with that employer, because that gives additional guarantee to your landlord.
And the third thing is try to get a guarantor. So if you have Chacha ji, Chachi ji, Mama ji, Bua ji, koi to hota hai Canada mein, you know, or a friend who has already been living here.
And you know what? Canada, even though it's far from South Asian countries,
You will find someone.
you will find somebody.
Yeah, so if you have a guarantor and someone who can sign your application, it will make a whole lot of difference. And you know what? फिर ये लोग बाकी कैसे कब काम आएंगे? You know, you need to take an advantage of that. And it's not that they're gonna pay your rent. You still have to pay your own. Now, hopefully that video will give you a little insight, especially your planning, your budget, how much you have to spend on accommodation here in Canada. We wish, and we really wish, because we really feel for newcomers looking for houses, because it's just heartbreaking when we find people going from one Airbnbs to another Airbnbs and they said they couldn't find a house, especially young families with kids. I mean, it's just heartbreaking. So we wish you will find a house, and you will find a house. And once hopefully this market settles and you will actually able to buy a house, you don't have to worry about renting, because we still stand with the fact that renting is wasting your money. You should have your own house, and that's why you moved here, right?
So all the very best with your search. We'll see you next week or the week after with new video with a new amazing topic. Keep us in your prayers. We'll see you soon. You have a beautiful day and a very nice week. See ya.
Bye.